Evan slowly opened his eyes. His head felt heavy, and his body felt weak. The last thing he remembered was walking home from work. Now he was lying on a cold metal floor in a place he had never seen before. The air smelled sharp and clean, almost like a hospital, but too perfect, too artificial. Blue lights glowed from the ceiling, and long shadows stretched across the room. He moved his hand and felt the floor vibrating under him, like something big was moving far below. Evan pushed himself up and looked around. The room was huge, almost like a warehouse, but filled with tall glass tubes. Inside each tube floated strange creatures. Some looked like animals, some looked like aliens, and some looked like a mix of both. They were sleeping or unconscious, gently floating in a glowing blue liquid. Evan's heart started beating fast. He did not know where he was. He did not know who brought him here. But one thing was clear. He did not belong in this place. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed through the chamber. Evan's breath froze. The sound was slow, deep, and strong, like something wearing armor. From the shadows, a tall figure stepped out. It was not human. It was at least 8 feet tall, with dark green armor covering its whole body and a glowing staff in its hand. Its helmet had no face opening, only 2 sharp blue lights where eyes should be. The alien guard stared at Evan. Then, with a deep voice that vibrated through the room, it said, "Subject is awake. Prepare him for viewing." Evan stood up. What do you want from me?" he asked, but the guard did not answer. 2 more armored figures entered. They surrounded Evan and pulled him to his feet. Their grip was strong, too strong for him to fight. They pushed him toward a large door at the end of the chamber. The door was covered with symbols that glowed like fire dot. As the door opened, a wave of warm air came through. Evan stepped inside a royal-looking hall. The walls were covered in silver markings. Floating lanterns lit the room with soft golden light. At the far end stood a raised platform, almost like a throne, and standing on that platform was someone who looked more human than alien. The Princess of Varix. Her skin was pale blue and glowing softly. Her eyes were silver like liquid metal. A crown floated above her head without touching her hair. She was beautiful but terrifying, powerful but calm. When she looked at Evan, he felt like she could see straight into his soul. The guards bowed. Evan did not. The princess stepped forward, her dress floating like smoke around her feet. She stared at him for a long moment, studying him, measuring him. "This is the human you captured?" she asked softly. "Yes, princess," the guard replied. She walked around Evan slowly, as if examining an object. Then she said something that made Evan's stomach twist with fear. "He is perfect." Evan tried to step back, but the guards held his shoulders. "Perfect for what?" he asked. The princess smiled. A small, unsettling smile. "For the choosing ceremony?" she said. Evan had no idea what that meant. He looked around the room, confused and scared. The princess raised her hand, and the floor between them began to open. A circular platform rose. From below, carrying several glass tubes like the ones in the chamber earlier. Inside them floated different alien pets, creatures made from technology, biology, and something else Evan could not understand. "These," the princess said, "are our sacred pets. They choose their father." Evan blinked. "Father? What does that mean?" "I don't understand." The princess moved closer. "Our species is dying. We require new life forms. Our pets bond with a father and create the future." Evan shook his head slowly. "No. No, you're not talking about me." But she smiled again. "Yes, I am." She raised her hand dramatically and pointed directly at Evan. "You must pick a father from our pets," she declared. The guard stepped back from him, leaving him alone in front of the glowing tubes. Evan stared at the creatures inside. each one strange and mysterious. One of them, a small silver fur creature with bright golden eyes, suddenly opened its eyes and stared at him. The princess whispered, "It has awakened for you." Evan felt a chill run through him. Something deep inside him whispered that his life was about to change forever, and not in a way he could control. The creature blinked once. Then the glass around it began to crack. The last thing Evan heard before panic filled the room was the princess whispering, "Your destiny begins now." The moment the silver fur creature opened its glowing golden eyes, the glass tube around it cracked like ice. A sharp, high-pitched sound filled the room. Evan took a step back in shock, unsure whether to run, fight, or scream. The guards tightened their grip on their weapons. Even the princess leaned forward, her silver eyes shining with curiosity. The final crack appeared, and the glass shattered outward. Blue liquid splashed onto the floor as the creature dropped to its feet. It shook its small body, sending sparks of golden light into the air. It looked harmless, almost cute, with soft fur and big eyes. But something about its gaze felt powerful, intelligent. Ancient. Evan stared at it. The creature stared back. Then it moved. Fast. It jumped toward Evan, almost floating through the air. The guards raised their weapons, but the princess lifted her hand. "Stop," she commanded. "Let it happen." The creature landed gently on Evan's chest and sniffed him. Evan froze, afraid that even one breath might trigger something horrible. The creature tilted its head, studying his face. Then it leaned forward and bit him. Evan felt a sharp pain shoot through his neck. He gasped and stepped backward, falling to one knee. The creature's teeth were small, but the bite burned like fire. It felt like electricity spreading through his veins. What is happening to me?" Evan whispered. The creature licked the bite mark once. The burning sensation grew stronger. Evan felt dizzy, weak, and strangely connected. As if his thoughts were no longer only his. The princess walked toward him. "The bond has begun." Evan grabbed his neck. "Bond? What bond?" The princess knelt beside him. "When a pet chooses a father, it marks him. Its bite creates a connection between your mind and its mind. You are now linked." Evan looked at the creature sitting proudly on his knee. "You bit me," he muttered. The creature blinked, almost apologetic. The princess smiled. "It did more than bite you. It chose you." Evan stood up slowly, still feeling the burning energy swirling inside him. The creature climbed up to his shoulder, wrapping its tail around his neck like a scarf. Its golden eyes glowed brighter. "Does this mean I passed some test?" Evan asked. The princess shook her head. "No, this is only the beginning. The bite means the creature trusts you. But the council will not. They fear humans." Evan sighed. "Great. Even in space, people don't like humans." The princess gave a soft laugh. "I like humans. You are unpredictable, brave, strange." Evan crossed his arms. "So what happens now?" The princess stood tall again. "Now the council must witness the bond. They will test you. If you fail, the bond will break, and you will die." Evan froze. "Wait, why did you say that so calmly?" "Because it is tradition," she replied. The creature suddenly pressed its forehead against Evan's cheek. A wave of warmth spread through his body, calming him. Evan looked into its glowing eyes, and for a moment felt safe. "What is it doing?" he asked. "It is sharing its trust with you," the princess said. "It wants you to survive." Evan sighed heavily. "Well, that makes one of us." The princess signaled the guards. "Prepare the arena. The trial of the father begins now." Evan groaned. "Trial? Arena? Why is everything here so dramatic?" "Because survival must be earned," the princess said softly. "Your bite changed everything. You are no longer a simple human. You are part of our future, and many will try to stop that. Evan looked at the creature on his shoulder. It nodded at him, almost like encouragement. All right, he said. Let's see what trial looks like. The princess smiled. Good. I hope you are ready. I am not ready, Evan replied. The creature squeaked happily, clearly excited. Princess Varix bowed her head slightly. Then may your courage protect you. Because from this moment on, your fate is no longer your own. As the guards escorted Evan out of the chamber and toward the unknown trial, the princess whispered to herself, This human. He may be the one we needed all along. Evan pressed, his back against the cold metal wall, trying to understand what had just happened. Only a few moments earlier, he was standing in front of a glass tube. Now the silver fur creature was awake, free, and watching him with glowing golden eyes. The air around him felt thicker, warmer, almost alive. A strange energy filled the room, like invisible waves passing through his skin. The creature took one slow step toward him. Its paws barely made a sound, but its presence felt heavy. Evan could feel its attention, sharp and focused, like it already knew him better than he knew himself. He swallowed hard. His heartbeat echoed in his ears. Do not move, one alien guard said. His voice was deep, almost robotic. Evan stayed still. He did not know if the creature was dangerous or friendly. It was small, yes, but there was something powerful inside it, something old and intelligent. The princess watched the scene with calm interest. Her silver eyes glowed brighter. It is curious about him, she said softly. It feels his fear. That's great, Evan muttered. Good to know. The creature suddenly tilted its head and jumped onto his shoulder in one smooth motion. Evan gasped. Its body was warm, soft, but filled with pulsing energy. He felt a vibration against his skin, like a purr mixed with a hum of electricity. What is it doing? Evan asked. The princess stepped closer. It is choosing? Before Evan could respond, the creature opened its small mouth and bit him on the neck. Evan screamed, not from pain, but from shock. The bite was small, but the effect was massive. A burning light flowed from the bite, spreading down his chest, through his arms, into his legs. He dropped to his knees. His vision blurred. His breath shook. It felt like fire and ice mixed together. Like lightning crawling under his skin. The princess raised her hand. Do not touch him, she ordered the guards. Let the bond form, bond? Evan pressed his hand against the bite mark. Golden light leaked between his fingers. His heart raced faster and faster, like it might burst. The creature stepped into his lap, staring into his eyes. And then he felt it. Not a voice. Not words. A feeling. A pure, clear message. Trust. Whoa, what? Is it saying? Evan whispered. The princess answered, It is telling you not to fear. Evan looked at the creature again. It blinked slowly, as if comforting him. The burning feeling began to fade. A warm calmness spread across his body. He felt lighter, stronger, and somehow connected. Like the creature had opened a door in his mind. It bit me too. Calm me? Evan asked. No, the princess said. It bit you to bind you. You are now linked. Your thoughts, your emotions, your strength, all can be shared. Evan stared at the creature in disbelief. So, we're... what? Partners? The princess nodded. Father and child. Evan nearly choked on air. Sorry, what? Princess Varix looked amused. This is how a father is chosen. The bite is the mark. Once given, it cannot be undone. Evan looked at the creature again. You could have warned me, he said. The creature chirped, almost like a laugh. The princess stepped closer, her expression suddenly serious. Listen carefully, human. This bond is powerful and dangerous. Many in the council do not want a human to be chosen. They fear what your union may create. Union? Evan asked. That sounds like marriage and monsters. The princess ignored his joke. The council believes humans are unpredictable, too emotional, too strong. The fact that the creature chose you will make them angry. Great, Evan said. I haven't even been here a day, and people already hate me. The princess lowered her voice. The bite changed everything. When you bonded, the creature released part of its life force into you. You now carry its energy. That makes you important. Important good, Evan said, or important dead. The princess looked away. That was answer enough. Two guards approached. Princess, the council summons you. They demand to see the human. The princess nodded. Prepare the trial chamber. Evan stood up quickly. Trial? No one said anything about a trial. You must prove you are worthy of the bond, she said. If you fail, the council will break your connection. And breaking a bond kills the father. Evan stared at her. So I'm part of this world now? You always were, the princess said gently. You simply did not know it. The creature jumped back onto Evan's shoulder and curled its tail around his neck. He felt its warmth, its trust, its small heartbeat. Does this little guy at least think I can win? Evan asked. The creature nuzzled his cheek, sending a wave of courage through his body. Princess Varix smiled softly. Yes, it believes in you. Strongly. Evan sighed. Well, at least one of us does. The guards opened the heavy metal door. The room beyond was dark, glowing with red lights. A long tunnel led deeper into the alien palace. The princess gestured forward. Evan of Earth, the trial of the chosen father awaits you. Evan looked down at the creature. Okay, buddy. Stay close. The creature's eyes glowed brighter. And together, they stepped into the darkness. Evan stepped into the dark tunnel with the silver fur creature resting on his shoulder. The air felt colder here, heavy with silence. Only red lights glowed along the walls, pulsing like a heartbeat. It felt like the hallway itself was watching him. He took a deep breath and walked forward. What kind of trial is this? He asked quietly. The creature pressed its tiny forehead against his cheek, trying to calm him. Evan felt a soft warmth spread through his chest. It helped, but only a little. Behind him, the metal door slid shut with a loud clang. There was no turning back now. At the end of the tunnel, another massive door opened automatically. Evan stepped inside a huge circular arena. The ground was made of dark stone, and strange symbols glowed across the floor. High above, more aliens watched from raised platforms. Members of the council, dressed in long robes with shining patterns. Their eyes were cold. The princess stood on a balcony above. Her expression was calm, but her silver eyes held worry. She knew this trial was not fair. She knew the council wanted Evan to fail. One council member stepped forward. His voice was loud and sharp. Human, you are not welcome. You are weak. You are untrained. You are unworthy. Evan crossed his arms. Wow, nice to meet you too. The council member ignored him. You carry the bond mark. That alone is a threat to us. So we give you one chance. If you survive the trial, you may live. If you fail, your bond will break, and you will die. Evan whispered, Why does everything here want to kill me? The princess called out, Let the trial begin. The ground shook. Then a section of the floor opened. Something climbed out, something big. Evan stumbled back as a massive creature stepped into the arena. It looked like a mix of a gorilla and a reptile. Huge arms, dark scales, and glowing red eyes. Every step it took made the arena shake. It roared, and the sound echoed through the chamber like thunder. Evan whispered, "That's not a test. That's a punishment." The princess shouted, "This is the strength trial. You must show courage and survive for 3 minutes." 3 minutes? Evan yelled. "This thing can eat me in 3 seconds." The gorilla beast charged at him. Evan barely jumped to the side in time. The creature slammed its fist into the ground, leaving a huge crater. Dust exploded everywhere. Evan ran across the arena. "This is crazy," he shouted. "I'm a normal guy. I work in an office." The gorilla beast roared again and swung its arm toward him. Evan ducked, rolled, and ran faster. On his shoulder, the small silver fur creature held on tightly. Then it climbed onto Evan's head and looked straight at the beast. Its golden eyes glowed bright. A wave of energy hit Evan's mind. He suddenly knew where the beast would move. He could feel its anger. Its next strike. Its direction. The princess gasped from above. "The bond is awakening." The council members looked uncomfortable. The human was not dying. He was adapting. Evan moved left, just as the beast lunged right. He ducked before the fist came down. He jumped back as claws scraped the floor. "What is happening?" Evan shouted. "How am I doing this?" The creature on his shoulder squeaked loudly. Evan suddenly felt stronger. His legs moved faster. His reactions sharpened. "Oh," Evan said, surprised. "You're sharing your speed with me, aren't you?" The creature chirped. The gorilla beast roared and charged again. This time, Evan didn't run. He timed the beast's movement, stepped under its arm, and hit the back of its leg. It barely hurt the monster, but it stumbled. The council gasped. A human should not be able to do that. The princess smiled. He is not just a human. He is bonded. The beast turned around, angrier than before. It smashed the ground and sent rocks flying. Evan shielded his face. The creature on his shoulder inhaled sharply. Its golden eyes glowed even brighter. A thin shield of energy formed around the two of them. The flying rocks shattered against the invisible barrier. Evan stared in shock. "Buddy, you can do that?" The creature sneezed softly. The shield flickered. "Oh, great," Evan said. "It's a tiny shield." The beast charged again. Evan jumped aside. He felt energy pulse in his bones, almost like the creature was wrapping him in courage. The princess raised her hand. 1 minute left. Evan groaned. 1 minute? I feel like I've been doing this for an hour. The beast lifted both arms and slammed them down. The floor cracked. Evan jumped backward, but not far enough. A shockwave hit him and threw him across the arena. He crashed into a wall and slid down. The creature on his shoulder screeched in pain. Evan felt its fear mix with his own. "No," Evan whispered. "Don't be scared. Don't be hurt." He forced himself to stand. Blood dripped from his lip. His legs shook. The gorilla beast stomped toward him. Evan raised his fist. "I am not dying here," he said. The beast rushed forward. At the last second, the small creature sent one last surge of energy through Evan's body. Evan dodged the beast's punch, sprinted behind it, and pushed with all his strength. The beast lost balance and crashed onto the ground. The floor shook like an earthquake. A horn sounded. The princess shouted, "Time is over. He survives." The council froze. Some were shocked. Some were angry, but Evan fell to his knees, exhausted. The small creature crawled onto his chest and purred softly. Evan breathed hard. "Please, tell me the next test is easier." The princess did not smile. "Evan," she said, "the next one is the trial of truth." and everyone in the arena went silent. Evan was still breathing hard when the arena lights dimmed. The ground beneath him stopped shaking. The huge gorilla beast was dragged away by mechanical arms. Silence filled the chamber, but it was not peaceful. It was heavy, tense. The council members gathered in a tight circle above the arena, whispering angrily. They had seen something today they did not expect. A human surviving a trial meant to kill him. Princess Varix stepped forward on her balcony. Evan of Earth has proven courage, she declared. He passed the strength trial. Some members clapped politely. Most did not. One council member, old with dark blue skin and glowing red markings, pointed at the princess. You break our traditions. You bring danger to us. A human must not pass the trials. The princess replied with calm strength. He did not break your traditions. He survived them. He survives because the creature helps him. The old alien shouted. That bond is too strong. Too unnatural. It will make the human powerful. Too powerful. Evan raised his hand weakly. Hey, I'm right here. Please don't talk about killing me while I'm still listening. No one laughed. The princess spoke again. The trial of truth will continue at sunrise. Evan groaned. Great, another trial. But something was wrong. Evan felt it in the air. The creature on his shoulder felt it too. It trembled. Its golden eyes dimmed with fear. The princess sensed danger as well. She looked at the guards and moved away quickly. We must end for now. Take the human to the rest chamber. He needs recovery. Two guards nodded and walked down the stairs. They approached Evan and helped him stand. Evan tried to steady himself, but his legs were weak. The trial had drained him. What happens in the trial of truth? He asked. The guards did not answer. They only pushed him toward the exit. The small creature growled softly. Evan whispered, Yeah, I feel it too. Something is wrong. As the guards led him through a narrow hallway, Evan noticed something strange. These were not the same guards from before. Their armor was dark red instead of silver. Their eyes glowed harsher, and they walked too close to him, as if ready to attack. Evan slowed down. Where exactly are we going? To rest, one guard said, but his voice was cold, empty. Evan's heartbeat quickened. The hallway grew darker, quieter. The normal palace guards were gone. No lights, no doors. Just a long path that led nowhere. Evan stopped walking. The guards turned around slowly. The small creature on his shoulder hissed loudly. Then the guard said the words Evan feared. The council does not want you alive for the next trial. The second guard pulled out a glowing blade. Evan stepped back. Wait, what? I passed the test. I didn't do anything wrong. You did everything wrong, the guard growled. You survived. The creature on Evan's shoulder screamed. A burst of golden light flashed around them. Evan's body felt warmer, stronger. But he was still weak from the trial. He looked at the guards. They were taller, stronger, trained to kill. He looked at the creature. It was small, scared, but protective. Evan clenched his fists. If you want to kill me, I won't make it easy. The first guard lunged out. Evan dodged the strike, only because the creature gave him a flash of warning in his mind. The blade cut the wall, sending sparks everywhere. Evan ran backward. The second guard swung at him. Evan ducked, but his leg weakened. He fell hard. The creature jumped off his shoulder and landed between him and the guards, glowing bright like a little sun. It opened its mouth and released a loud, sharp cry. A wave of energy shot forward, pushing the guards back. They crashed into the wall. Evan stared. Buddy, you saved me again. But the creature wobbled. That attack had drained it completely. It crawled back onto Evan, weak and shaking. Evan lifted it. No, don't push yourself. Stay with me? The guards got up again, furious. There is no escape, human. One shouted. A sudden roar echoed through the hallway. Not from Evan, not from the creature. From behind the guards, a massive shadow emerged, the princess's personal guardian beast. A tall creature with 6 glowing eyes and sharp horns. It looked terrifying. Until it knelt in front of Evan, the guard stepped back in fear. This beast obeys only the princess. One shouted dot from behind the creature. Princess Varix appeared, her eyes blazing with anger. You dare attack the chosen father without my command? She shouted dot. The guards fell to their knees. Princess, we were ordered. I do not care who ordered it, she said sharply. You broke sacred law. She looked at Evan. You are not safe. I felt the danger through the bond. Evan nodded, still holding the shaking creature. They tried to kill me. I know, she said. And now we must flee? Flee? Evan asked. Why us? Because the council wants you dead before the truth is revealed, she whispered. Your bond. It can change everything. Evan looked at her. And what truth do they fear? Princess Varix touched the glowing bite mark on his neck. That humans, she said softly, may be the key to saving our dying world. And some of them would kill you before they let that happen. The beast roared again. The princess extended her hand. Come, Evan. We must escape before sunrise. Evan took her hand. Together, they ran into the dark hallways of the alien palace. Chased by enemies from every side, Evan ran beside Princess Varix through the dark maze of crystal hallways. The 6-eyed guardian beast followed behind them, blocking anyone who tried to chase. Alarms echoed across the palace. Red lights flashed again and again. The whole place felt alive with danger. The small silver fur creature clung weakly to Evan's shoulder, still tired from protecting him earlier. Its golden eyes flickered, but it refused to let go. Evan kept one hand on it to make sure it didn't fall. Where are we going? Evan asked between breaths. To the throne hall, the princess said. If we reach it, I can call the old laws. I can protect you? Evan frowned. And if we don't reach it? They will kill you, she said honestly. And kill the creature. And destroy all hope for our future. Evan nodded. Great, no pressure at all. They turned a corner and stopped. 3 council guards waited in the hallway with glowing spears. The moment they saw Evan, they charged forward. The guardian beast roared and rammed into them, knocking one into a wall. The princess raised her hand and shot a beam of silver light at the others. Evan ducked, dragging the creature closer to his chest. When the hallway was clear, they kept running. You're injured, the princess said. Looking at Evan's limp, I prefer calling it running creatively. He said despite everything. The princess smiled a little. You are strange for a human. I've been told that, Evan replied. They reached a final large door. 2 enormous guards stood there, loyal royal guards, not council guards. When they saw the princess, they immediately opened the door. Inside was the royal throne hall. The ceiling glowed like a galaxy, filled with hundreds of floating lights. Tall pillars lined the room, each carved with ancient symbols. At the center was a round platform where the princess usually stood during ceremonies. But the hall was not empty. The entire council was already waiting. Dozens of alien leaders stood in a half-circle. Their eyes burned with anger. The old council member stepped forward. You bring the human here? After he escaped? After he attacked our guards? Evan threw his hands up. Hey, they attacked me first. And I didn't ask to be here. Silence. The council member shouted. The princess stepped in front of Evan. You will not touch him. He is a threat. The alien screamed. He has the bond. He has the creature. If he lives, humans will have power in our world. Evan looked at the princess. Again. No pressure. She ignored him. You fear him because he survived. You fear him because he has courage. But you should fear what will happen if we let our species die. Another council member spoke. The bond is too strong. The creature chose him. That should not be possible. The princess stared at them. It is possible because humans are strong. Humans have something we lost long ago. And what is that? The council member spat. Heart, the princess said. The council roared in anger. He must die. Break the bond. Kill the human before sunrise. Evan felt the creature shake in fear. He held it close. I didn't ask for this, you know, he whispered. But I won't let them take you. The princess lifted her hand. I call the ancient right. The hall fell silent. Even Evan felt the atmosphere change. The princess stepped onto the center platform. Only one rule matters now, she said loudly. The chosen father may defend his bond with his life. And the council must face him with honor. Council members gasped. You cannot call that law. It is forbidden. It will destroy us. Evan whispered, Princess, what are you doing? Protecting you, she said softly. And protecting our hope. The old council member snarled. Very well. If the human wants to defend the bond, he must do it. He raised his hand. The arena floor shifted. The ground glowed bright blue. A huge figure rose from the center, a council champion, a massive warrior covered in black armor and holding two blazing weapons. Evan's stomach dropped. I'm supposed to fight that? The princess placed her hand over his heart. You are not alone. The creature is with you, and I am with you. The small silver fur creature climbed onto Evan's shoulder and let out a soft cry. Golden light flowed across his body. His skin tingled. His heartbeat steadied. His fear slowly melted. The champion charged. Evan dodged the first strike thanks to a flash of warning from the creature. He rolled across the ground, jumped up, and blocked the second strike using pure instinct. Sparks shot into the air. The creature shared more energy with him. Evan felt stronger fast, focused, powerful. He moved behind the champion and punched its armor. The impact cracked the surface. The council gasped. No human should have been able to do that. The champion roared and swung again. Evan ran up a pillar, jumped, and kicked the warrior in the chest. The armor shattered. The champion fell to its knees. Evan stood over him, chest heaving. This bond doesn't make me a monster, he said. It makes me better. And I won't let you kill something innocent. The champion collapsed. Silence fell. The princess stepped forward. The human wins. No, the council leader whispered. Impossible. The ancient rite is complete, the princess declared. He lives. And the bond stays. The princess walked to Evan and placed her hand on his shoulder. Evan of Earth, she said softly. You saved us all. The creature purred proudly. Evan looked around the hall, breathing hard. So, what now? Princess Varric smiled. Now, human, your new life begins. And for the first time since he arrived on this strange world, Evan felt something he never expected. Hope.